Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Mariesvermontcreations, and I'm just going to bring you a quick winter snowman card. I had originally intended this to be part of January content. Nancy May, the Handy Scandy, did a January themed hashtag, and I had intended that to be for this, but as you see, I've had a lot going on and I didn't get to editing and voicing over until now. So I'm using two stamp sets, which are both from Simon Says Stamp. This one that I'm going to use for the Snowflake Circle is from the January 2024 Simon Says Stamp card kit, and the other one is an older one, it's probably a couple of years old. So I'm taking this peachy salmon colored piece of paper and lining it up in my mini Misty, and I am going to stamp this using the Simon Says Stamp clear ink, and I'm just rubbing it with my fingers because in processing there's sometimes a film over the stamp that you want to get off so that you can get a better impression. I apologize for my voice. I am currently getting over COVID. As if last week wasn't enough, I decided to top the week with some COVID. So I am actually not too ill, thankfully, but my voice has taken the brunt of the beating and a headache. But that's been the worst of the symptoms, so I guess I can't complain. So I am going to take this Brutus Monroe white embossing powder, and I believe I went with the sparkle one for this. So I completely coated it, and then I am going to take my heat tool and I'm going to heat it up from behind so that I don't blow off all of the glitter that I have on the top. You can heat it from the front, but I do find it's easier to come from the back if you want to keep any glitter stuck to it. This way the heat tool doesn't blow it off, and as you can see, it melts just fine doing it this way. And once you have it sort of grabbed and caught into that melted embossing powder, you can then come and heat it from the front if you want. But you just want to make sure that everything is smooth and melted. If you tilt it in the light, you can tell if there's any grainy bits that still need some heat. But once I get that done, I am just taking a scrap piece of white cardstock, and I am going to stamp this cute little snowman with the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And just going to use some markers from my stash to color that in, and then I will fussy cut that out using my scissors because I don't have a die for any of these, and I wasn't going to pull out my scan and cut machine for just one image. I honestly need to stamp a bunch of things and cut them out with the scan and cut, and then have things to color in my spare time, especially right now while I'm sitting and watching a lot of crime documentaries. I'm currently addicted to American Monster, thanks to my best friend recommended it to me, and I'm already on season 4. So if you like true crime stories, I highly recommend checking that out. So I'm just using not a lot of colors. There's just a couple that I use to color in the hat and the scarf and the little carrot nose. Nothing fancy, not doing any shading or blending or anything like that. I tried to use colors that matched the background paper that I used and that pattern paper that you can see right above what I'm working on. So I wanted to tie in the colors of that, and that's just from my stash. I have all of my pattern paper. It's no longer in its original packaging. I have it cut down to 6x6 and stored in like a photo box and have them in a drawer. So I have no way of knowing what company they're from. I didn't save or keep them organized by any means. Like some of them I can tell, like I know my old Stampin' Up! Papers and that kind of stuff, but anything newer, sometimes you get a few in a Lawn Fawn order, or they're part of card kits. So definitely just some random stuff that I pull out of my stash as far as pattern paper goes. And if you didn't have pattern paper that you wanted to use, you can always make your own by stamping or ink blending, or however you want to do it. So now I'm just going to adhere this salmon colored paper to my pattern paper using some liquid glue. I use the Barely Arts glue, which I absolutely love this. I do still have the glitter glue, which is perfectly fine, but I do find I like the consistency of this glue better. And then I will take my snowman. He's going to go right in the center. You could use an action wobbler for this, but I use just some foam squares to get this adhered down in the middle. Just pull off the backing of those and going to get that centered up. And then I will get the entire panel adhered to an A2 size card base, just a straight white one. My sentiment I'm going to use is from the January stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, and I think it says, oh, I already forgot the phrase. Basically, there's like snow one like you. It's kind of a snowy pun. It's kind of cute. But it took up the entire front panel. That whole sentiment takes up the whole length of it, which I liked. Just finding my ink pad in this hot mess that I call a desk. And so I'm going to stamp that down. And this ink works well. I didn't even have to stamp it twice. And so now that that's done, I will get that adhered to the card base. And that is going to complete the project for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Quick and easy. You could customize the sentiment to make it kind of any occasion if you wanted. If you had a winter birthday, this would be cute if you added a birthday sentiment to it. And so if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them for me down below. And as always, I hope that you have a great day.